So with that kind of rhetoric, can the RNC ever bridge the divide? Joining me now is Sean Spicer. He's communications director for the RNC. Sean, I don't envy you. You got quite a job right now. Between Trump and Romney, and I'm sure you saw both of them, who made the better case today?
That was a good try, David. I'm not going there. I think, look. I think Governor Romney's got a First Amendment right to express himself in this primary process.
Yeah.
Talk about who he'd like to support and who he's not. And I think Donald Trump can go out and talk to the voters that he wants. And at the end of the day, what this is really all going to be about is the voters who, throughout the country, are going to decide what delegates get given to the folks going to the convention in July.
That's what bothers a lot of people about what Romney said, is he does seem to be defying the will of the voters who've come out to the primaries.
Well, it doesn't really, I mean, with all due respect, I mean, at the end of the day, whoever gets 1,236 delegates is the nominee, plain and simple.
But look how many he's got so far, Sean. That's the point. And the turnout is just extraordinary. You haven't had turnout like this for Republicans in years.
That's right. But then once he secures those delegates, the nomination's his. I mean, whoever gets that amount, I mean, it's pretty plain and simple. Whoever gets the delegates that are required to clinch the nomination gets it. And I think
again, Sean, you're dealing with a Republican, and he is a registered Republican. You're dealing with a Republican, Donald Trump, who not only has great turnout. You had 20,000 Democrats in Massachusetts switching over so they could vote in the Republican primary. I mean, we used to talk about Reagan Democrats. Remember that term back in the 80s? Could it be that we're in a new era of Trump Democrats, something that certainly Romney could never get?
Well, sure. And again, if he gets the votes and the delegates, he becomes the nominee. I mean, that's plain and simple. And in between then, I expect more people to lend their voices, both pro and con, all of these candidates. We're at a very crucial point in the process. And I think you're going to see people come out and support Donald Trump. They're going to criticize Donald Trump. They're going to support Marco Rubio. They're going to criticize Marco Rubio. And the same with, with Governor Kasich and Senator Cruz. This is the point of a primary election, though, is that you get your supporters to get out there, and whoever gets to that magic number becomes the nominee.
Sean, you have to admit, it is the point of a primary season, but we've never had one in my lifetime, and I think I've got a couple of years over you like this. Have you?
Well, not in the last, at least, probably 30 years.
Century. Try century, John.
No. I look at this and go, as you pointed out, our turnout numbers in 18 of 19 states have been record high.
Yeah.
On the Democratic side, they're below every one of the 2008 levels.
That's right. They're going in the opposite direction.
Right. So I think we're actually experiencing tremendous excitement and intensity on our side. It's not just the debates; it's actually the number of people turning out to vote. That's
I just got to read one comment from Harold Hamm. I'm sure you know him, a longtime Republican. Let me just read what he says. Forgive me for turning so I can read it. Trump has tapped into the anger and frustration with the establishment in this nation at this particular time. He is unstoppable, and the Republican Party must unify to help him. What would you say to Harold Hamm, quickly?
I would say that as soon as any of these candidates receive the number of delegates, we will unify as a party. We'll come out of Cleveland and be victorious in November.
Sean Spicer, a guy who certainly earns his pay these days. Thank you very much for being with us, RNC Communications Director. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks.